Yeah, welcome back to DXB Today. Good show for you today. We've got the fridge a bit later on. We've had a bit of food, more food coming up. It's going to be a bit of fun mixed in, but family is the key word for us today as we look at the parent-friendly label at the moment. Now, we've got the CEO at the UAE HSBC, Mohamed Marzooqi, has been kind enough to join us here on the sofa, and alongside the head of HR, also at HSBC Middle East, Nicole Whitworth, here with us. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Mohamed, I'm going to start with you if I can, because as the lead up here in the UAE of a global brand, an HSBC known the world over, why was it important for you and your team here in the UAE to embrace the parent-friendly label? And what does that say of the leadership values of HSBC?
Well, to start with, thank you very much for having us. On behalf of HSBC UAE, 1,700 plus employees, we are thankful to, to you guys and for this opportunity. Well, we've learned early on that when people thrive, the business naturally thrives, and we found that there is a strong correlation between the two. What we have been doing actually for years, we've been building this culture that is built on inclusivity, culture that values tolerance, culture that values inclusivity, culture that values flexibility. It's an excellent, I would say, recognition for all the hard work that our team and our senior leadership team have been putting in place. And we think that it's a great opportunity for us to be able to showcase some of these achievements to the wider business community. That when you support families, then you will have naturally a stronger team, a more resilient team. Yeah.
We're all, we're exciting for HSBC, Mohamed and Nicole being with us here. And Mohamed, how did you see the impact that happened into, the productivity of employees of HSBC?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have some statistics to share here. Well, in terms of turnover, attrition is less than 5%. We are LinkedIn top employer in the UAE for 4 years, in consecutive 4 years. We won the Euromoney Best International Bank in the UAE. PBT of $1 billion, just below $1 billion. We are by far the largest international bank operating in the UAE. It's a priority growth market for HSBC Group. So the impact is very visible. Yeah.
Nicole, there's research that shows that we were just discussing a little bit earlier on that parent-friendly organizations do report improved retention, productivity, morale among employees, and just stronger family and work balance. So my question to you is, and of course this is open to both of you, how does HSBC support families, particularly parents with children of determination?
It's a good question, thank you. So it's a real focus for us. It's something, I think it points to inclusivity because obviously it covers both men and women. And we feel it's really important that our policies are adequate, so we provide adequate care for children. We also have an employee volunteer group that specifically looks at this, so that gives employees a space where they can share stories, they can access resources that they may not otherwise be able to access, and it's just a safe place for them to thrive. So it's really critical to us.
Amazing. Mohamed, I'm really interested to know what have you learned through this process, through leading HSBC, through this entire process?
Well, it's about genuinely trusting your people, and you can have policies on paper, but this is about really walking the walk. If I may add to what Nicole just mentioned, our maternity leave is one of the best. I think it's the best in the market. It's for 18 fully paid weeks. Paternity leave is for 4 fully paid weeks. We've also added the support when it comes to fertility to our medical insurance cover for all the employees operating in the UAE.
Yeah, and you get the same for adoption as maternity.
Exactly.
And I suppose, Nicole, I suppose a lot of our viewers out there will be looking at this going, okay, I remember growing up and it was take your kids to school day, you know. It's evolved since then.
Yeah.
Things have got a lot better. Can you give us some sort of real-time and real life experiences of feedback you've got from parents at HSBC, and again, how that's made their lives easier?
Yeah, I guess there's probably 3 of our policies that stand out. We give a caregiver leave to everyone, so 5 days for everyone. As Mohamed said, the fertility treatment is outstanding. You know, people really appreciate that. It's very tough for couples going through that, so to have that support in the medical plan. And then the one that we just mentioned, the adoption leave, you know, we've had real feedback. It's a very stressful experience for people, so to have that leave, which exactly replicates the maternity leave, gives them a great deal of comfort, and we're very proud of that.
Nicole, do you agree how times have changed? Because especially in a lot of male-dominated fields that are field-based industries where a lot of them probably don't have first-hand experience of dealing with the pressures of caregiving, especially in such industries, policies such as this will be encouraging for them to have a little bit more of an open mind and an open heart, particularly towards new mums?
Definitely. I mean, I've got 3 children. They're 16, 13 and 4, so I've lived that journey myself, and I would say, you know, it's much better, it's much more progressive. I had a maternity leave at HSBC. We allow keeping in touch days for women. In my first maternity leave, I remember feeling really disconnected. You know, it really helps to be able to come in, to see the team, you get paid, and then it enables you to come back in a much better headspace, so it's fantastic.
You mentioned a little bit earlier on, you know, this is a programme born out of Abu Dhabi. It started small, it's getting a lot bigger. You can't get much bigger than HSBC. And starting here at HSBC UAE, seeing what they've achieved in the last couple of years, is this sort of a great test example, a standard bearer of what can be achieved by organisations?
That's definitely, I want to correct an information that I just mentioned. When I said 163 employees, that's in UAE. But that implies or amplifies into about increased into about 1 million employees around the world.
Okay.
So that's the aspiration. How we make things, and this is a culture in UAE that's, you know, we do think that, you know, we're starting things and we take a courageous step into things that haven't been done before, and we lead by example. And that's something we want to explore and will help with earners like HSBC and others. How can this be applied to global scene and different sectors? And we're in discussion with different sectors now to go beyond only private sectors or certain economic sector. So that's something we're working hard on to make this, a symbol or a label or an award that people and organizations see the value of it, not just from the recognition, but also from retention, from productivity and all those aspects.
And Mohamed, just at the same sort of point to you, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier on, HSBC global brand as well. You have international standards, etc. I'm sure you speak to your counterparts the world over. What are they saying about the initiative you take on the programme and how it aligns with the regulatory but also the cultural landscape here in the UAE?
Well, to be honest, the HSBC group existing policies are already very inclusive. So what we did, actually, we got those policies and we added, you know, the local flavor, the local Emirati UAE flavor to it. And they made it really easy for us to do so. What I encourage the team to do, Nicole and team here, to spend time with their peers, whether, you know, it's the local government entities or some of our peers, the multinationals operating in the UAE, very happy to show them what all we have achieved in this space. You know, the culture at HSBC is the best. And we really hope that, you know, everyone else, the doors are open. Come and learn from what we have done. I'm very happy to share, you know, those experiences, because as you rightly said, that it reflects on, you know, all those financial metrics, right? Productivity, retention, recognition, all of that. Yeah.
Amazing.
works best.
Mohamed, Nicole, very quickly, I want to ask, what advice would you give to any companies in the UAE that are looking to start their parent-friendly journey, since you've already...
I would say speak to them, listen to them, and then explain why you're doing what you're doing. So even if you don't do something that someone's asking you to do, respond to them and explain why. And I think that makes a much more collaborative environment for people.
I think it's about really genuinely caring for your people. You can have all of those your policies on paper, but for the leadership within those companies, really to to talk about these initiatives and their weekly management meetings and their executive committees. And probably the other thing is to talk to HSBC.
Of course.
Dr. Yusuf, would you say this is practical for smaller companies, especially because there might be concerns about cost, implementation of these flexible policies, and more than anything else, retaining this title, because I believe there are 12-month check-ins?
Great question. And this is, we were mindful of this. How is it, when we introduce this, will that be something every size of organizations or companies can do it? Evidence says yes. We have likes of HSBC and Duncan Mubadala from the winners and SLB, but also we have a small organization like Ithara. And we have NGOs and others. So big or small, that tailoring those criteria to their own use, their own employees, show that everyone every company can be able to get this. And sometimes applying it into a smaller scale, it's much easier. It's more agility, more responsiveness from the from employees and others. So that's something we saw across the three cycles we saw. Of course, applying to the program is, as I said, voluntarily and has no cost for application type of thing. So you don't have to pay anything for any assessors or organizations to come and assess. So it is something we take in consideration, making it easy for people. Our colleagues at HSBC can tell you how much even our team from the PFL program at ECA is going beyond just receiving application and getting yes, no, checklists. No, we go there, we do awareness and we speak to people. We have a representative who can speak to whoever have questions. So we're trying to support as many companies as we can to get into the program, apply for the program. Even if they don't get it, the thinking and the culture starts to change, and come back again and then apply and get it, hopefully.